Yes, it's another adventure with hiddenincatours.com. Today we're traveling up into the highlands of Peru from the Pacific coast at Paracas. And we're actually traveling on an ancient Inca road that now is the present highway. You can see the starkness of the mountains in the background and the fairly lush fields of the highlands. These agricultural areas date back to Inca times, if not before. And now we're entering the little town of Huaytara. And what we're going to be exploring is a church which is in fact megalithic. Most archaeologists and other academics believe that it's an Inca construction, but you'll see that the fineness of the craftsmanship is way beyond the capacity of the Bronze Age Inca culture, and in fact would be very difficult to replicate today. So we're out of the car and heading towards the Baños del Inca. This is located at the site of this church, likely from the 16th century. And this is the entrance to what is called the Palacio Inca, or the Inca Palace, and the door's locked. But as the camera focuses in, you'll see the fineness of the craftsmanship. Luckily, we were able to find the person who had the key, who in fact is an archaeologist, and so now we're going to explore this church, which is based upon an Inca construction, which in turn is based upon a much more ancient megalithic work. The stone itself is not from the area, at least not locally, but likely from at least 10, if not 50 kilometers away. And it's a highly compressed volcanic ash which has been metamorphosed. So we're also going here to the corner, and you can see there's some really extensive damage to the outside. The local people told us that that was fire damage, but I'm suspecting that in fact it's ancient cataclysmic damage that could have occurred as the result of solar plasma coming from the sun 12,000 years ago, which I recount in my book Aftershock, and some of this knowledge is based upon the work of Dr. Robert Schoch, famous geologist. And as we walk along, you can see the tightness of the fit and the poor adobe construction above. The adobe work was likely done by the Inca and then later repaired by the colonial Spanish. But this is another example of where you can't fit a human hair in the joins of the stone. And you see these strange, almost scoop marks that we also see in the city of Cusco. This clip is intriguing because you can see that part of that wall was found buried underground during the most recent archaeological excavations. And again, you see the very tightness of fit. Any gap that you think you're seeing is actually a shadow. Again, the comparison between the poor adobe work on top, which is Inca or colonial, and the very fine craftsmanship that was done by an unknown culture prior to the existence of the Inca. Again, reflected in many similar structures that we see in Cusco of different types of stone. You can see where a doorway has been filled in with adobe there on the left. And again, this strange peeling off of the stone. thought by locals to have been by fire, but it could have been some kind of much more ancient cataclysmic event. And once again, you see the incredible tightness of the joinery. It's not just on the surface, it goes straight through. And again, you see the incredible tightness here in part of the damaged wall. The curves at the corners, the incredible tight fit of the stone. And again, what I suspect is catastrophic damage, not simply a fire on the outside, but something much more complicated. The beauty of the craftsmanship is unique in this area. It's located about 3 hours east of Paracas. And this shows you the difference between the tightness of the fit with some earthquake damage causing gaps and the crude work on the bottom. Fortunately, we were also allowed to go inside the church. On the right here, you see Spanish colonial work with lots of concrete, and then the original structure. No mortar whatsoever, super tight fitting stonework, and quite unique. In this instance, we see a triangle-shaped depression, which is quite curious. It could be the only construction in the Inca world of its kind. Interestingly enough, these windows seem to line up with the triangular depressions. That's something I'd like to do much more study and research on. Now compare the work at Huaytara with this, which is Tambo, Colorado, a known Inca site. It's pure adobe with some stone used as a strengthener, but the Huaytara structure is far superior to this known Inca work. So these are pertinent books located at Amazon.com. A Brief History of the Inca from Rise Through Reign to Ruin. Beyond Machu Picchu, the Other Megalithic Monuments of Ancient Peru. And Inca Before the Spanish Conquest. And these are upcoming 2018 Hidden Inca tours. Exploring Mexico in January, the Maya, Olmec, Toltec, and other cultures. Egypt in March, only 9 spaces available as of October 27, 2017. The Inti Raymi Inca Celebration of the Sun in Cusco and area, as well as Pumapunku in Bolivia. The Elongated Skulls Tour of Peru in August, an annual event. And Croatia and Bosnia, exploring the so-called Bosnian pyramids and Croatian coast.